Hey guys, Chris again, classicvwbugs.com. And in this video, I want to talk about the new Volkswagen commercial that came out during the Super Bowl. So I got a lot of DMs and Facebook posts and instant messenger, all that kind of stuff. Some people requesting me to make a video, my take of the commercial. So there was a little bit of controversy that went on with it. I'll show you a post that I posted on my YouTube community page, but I did post the commercial a couple days before the Super Bowl because it did air online. Now, the commercial online is actually about a little over 2 minutes. So I think they chopped it up for the Super Bowl because they had to shorten it maybe for about 30 seconds or so. I don't know if they played the whole 2 minutes on TV. But shortly after, there was an article in reference to the dark ages of the Volkswagen Beetle when it all started in the late 1930s, of course, with the Nazis. So I'll give you my take on that too. But let's get to it, and I'll give you my take on the video. Okay, so if you go to my YouTube community page, so I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but if you ever just go on Classic VW Bugs, my YouTube homepage, and just click on the community tab here. I post there periodically, pretty much every week. I used to do a daily thing every now and then. Um, I'll post during the week, 2, 3 times a week, 4 times a week sometimes. So I posted, here's the commercial right here. And I posted that a few days before the Super Bowl. And a lot of people liked it. I got a good response. I posted it on my other social platforms and things. So, but this is the video. I have to mute the audio just in case the YouTube bots, the Skynet machine here. Here's the Neil Diamond song, and they might demonetize the video. So, um, but let's take a play here. And yeah, this is not old footage. Maybe some of it's some old footage, but this is all reshot footage. I think looks awesome. I mean, these are actors here and stuff, and very, very cool. Now, what's really funny is with these black and white early parts that they're showing here, like some people are kind of skeptical of the car, as you'll see, as it starts driving on the road. They're like, "Hey, huh? What the hell is that?" Right? Because it looks odd compared to all the bigger cars on the road. Like, so because you got to remember, this was, hey, the guy's like, "Hey, what the hell is that?" Right? So even these women, like, the look on their faces. So this, you got to remember, this was post World War II. So in 1949 is when the Beetle came to America. So that's why this video is centered around 75 years of Volkswagen. Now, is when it first, right here, 75 years ago, we brought the first Volkswagen Beetle to America. Yes, it's not when the Beetle was made. I mean, the Beetle was made in the late 30s. So, yeah, it's a lot older than that. But they're talking about when it came here. Of course, aired during Super Bowl. Super Bowl is an American sport. But this is funny because this is reminiscent of some old VW commercials that came around in the 50s where people were looking at the car like, what is this? This is our enemy. This is different. This is small. Fuel economy? Who the hell needs fuel economy? So it was a strange look. So if you go back here, I have this old commercial here that I pulled up on YouTube. I used to sell this DVD on commercials. And if you see this guy, he's looking at the car and he's like, "What is this?" And shakes his head. He's got a cigar in his mouth. Reminds me of the guy. I don't know if you guys remember the old Looney Tunes cartoons with Rocky. With Bugs Bunny was Rocky. He was like the mobster, the gangster. It's so funny. It's so reminiscent of those guys back then with the cigar in his mouth, the big lips. So so that's what that is. And that's why they had the looks on their faces like that. Because again, this was post World War II. Germans were still kind of, bad taste in everyone's mouth at the time. But I just thought that they captured it very well here. Very nostalgic. Whoever's real Beetle that is, that's awesome Beetle. Congratulations for getting in the commercial. So yeah, when they're looking in the dealership window, they see the huge American cars, and then they got the little car here. That was also another commercial from back in the day. But overall, guys, I think this commercial is a stellar commercial. Why? Because it's nostalgic. Remembering the days when we used to stuff ourselves in it. Once it gets to the 60s and the hippie days and the revolution, the cultural revolution, and going to school and buying this car real cheap and going to Woodstock, and it's just such a cool vibe. This was the happy times. Yes, it's got a dark past, the Beetle, with the enemy, right? But in the end, I mean, look at what it has created, the culture and the positive vibe. I mean, that's all I ever get when I go to a car show, or if I'm driving around with my Beetle, even down here in Florida or in New York when I was there. I mean, it was just always a good vibe. Can't go to the gas station without someone having a conversation about it. So I do think this commercial is awesome, and it is good in a way because it's a throwback. It's just then people remembering again, right? That this car what is like they say, it's iconic. It's like Coca-Cola. So in the end, this was a commercial about the electric bus that is coming out right there. Now they've been talking about this bus. I've been even talking about this bus that it's been supposed to have been coming out for the last 4 or 5 years, and I think it's finally coming out in the States here this year, 2024. So yeah, it's a throwback. It's nostalgia. I thought it was all good. No harm at all. I do think there's probably a Beetle in the works. I think if the bus is successful here, the electric bus, um, if that is successful, I think we will see a Beetle. There were some concept drawings that were going around the internet a while back. The what the new electric Beetle would look like. I don't know how true those concept drawings are. I don't know if see if I can find it here. Okay, so here was like one of the drawings that I saw, a concept of the Beetle. Um, that is really cool. I don't know if that's going to really come to fruition. Let's see that photo. And that's pretty badass. I would definitely be on board to buy that thing. I did see other drawings where there was a four door and they were suicide. So the doors opened outward in a way like away from each other, and similar to what the old Beetle taxi looked like when it had four doors. So, but that is a cool drawing. So, time will tell. We'll see if that's going to actually come to fruition. But I think if the electric bus does well, uh, I think we'll see a Beetle. I love the commercial. I love the throwback stuff. I'm a vintage person. I love vintage stuff, and some of those photos that they showed and some of the video here is just really cool the way they made it look old and just very vintage. I love it. These are some of the stories that my dad used to tell me, about way New York City was and the hustle and bustle and the way people dressed and everyone wore a hat right on the street. Everyone was clean cut. It was just amazing. Uh, Back in the day, I used to hear those stories and see the video. My dad had old 8 millimeter films that he would show when he was in Brooklyn. So pretty cool. I mean, this kind of goes back. I wasn't born back then, but I've seen the history of that. I've seen the footage and things. So very, very cool. But so I did post then shortly after that commercial aired on my page. If you go back to my community page here. So this was a story that was circulating around the web. And again, I think this was just for clicks, to be honest with you, more clickbait kind of thing. So if you go to, I was in Yahoo Finance, I think I found it, but there was a bunch of other sites that were showing the same article. VW accused of hiding Nazi soup past in Super Bowl advert. Yeah, because they're talking when it came to America. Um, so I don't know what the argument is here. I mean, why would they even go there? That's specifically what it was all about. Accused of glossing over its Nazi past in a multi-million-dollar advert for the Super Bowl. So yeah, we all know it has a dark past, but it's like I feel the American market is what made the car iconic. It's like I said, once it hit the 60s, it was the happy car. It was what we made it that point A to point B vehicle, and sleeping in the car, and like I said, going to school, and maybe you had your mate in the back seat, and you're going doing a little romance. I hear those stories all the time. When I go to car shows, those are the stories that I hear. Yes, there's this dark past. It's funny too. I can go to car shows and people will come up to me and they'll be like, Chris, when did they start making the Beetle? And I always say, yeah, they started in the 30s, the late 30s. The Beetle was made with the Nazis. And people were like, no, are you kidding? I thought they came in like the 50s, or they came in, and I'm like, no, it was the 1930s. Hitler did have one of his great idea was for the people, an economical car, a family car. I mean, he was on the right path with that. Of course, it went all debunked, when the war was going on and they had to start, focusing their attentions to the military side of things. But it was the English that were you got to figure that they rescued the Beetle, and then being able to revitalize Germany with the Volkswagen plant, got Germany back up on its feet. And then once it came to America, everything just got really, just a smile face got on the car instead of it being a mean face, that sort of thing, if you kind of look at it that way. But yeah, a lot of people don't realize it started with the Nazis. But there are some people that also say there's another article circulating around the web that there is somebody else that actually had the first designs of the Beetle, and it wasn't Hitler or Porsche. I saw that article a few years ago about that there was a guy that had a basic shape of the Beetle way before the Nazis actually came up with the design. So some people are saying it was a stolen design, right? But definitely check out that article. That's out there somewhere. But if I don't bring it up here in the video, I'll put it in the description below. So, but that's my take on it, guys. I thought the commercial was awesome. I really thought it just brings memory back for the car, and it does. Now all of a sudden sometimes you can get a nice little kick in the market with these cars. Once that bus is starting to be seen on the road, there's then always the throwback to the old Beetle and the old bus. I'm just curious to see what the 60s buses or 50s buses, microbuses, are gonna do now that this car, the electric version, is coming out. When the new Beetle came out, there was a good little boost in the market for the old Beetle. Things started to increase. You saw the values go up for that car. So it will. I think this commercial will kind of do that as well to the Beetle market, even though it's in a little bit of a slump right now. But things always rebound for the Bug. I think it's just the Volkswagen in general. It's just a happy brand, and friendly, camaraderie, family friend, that kind of thing, and memories. That's what it's all about, is memories. So that's my take, guys. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you got any comments, leave them in the comment section below. If I missed anything, if I overlooked anything, leave them in the comment section below. I'll also have the link to the commercial in my description, so you can watch the whole 2-minute thing. And yeah, I'll see you next time.